So you're here to unlock one of the most important moves in the golf swing, recentering. Tour players do this almost automatically, where I see amateur golfers often sway late in their backswing. They never get back over top of the golf ball, which saps their power, their consistency, and their strike. In today's video, we're going to cover a couple key things of why you might do that, how to correct it, so you can recenter, get onto your lead side, start striking that golf ball better, and increase your club head speed. If we can teach you today how to recenter properly, you're going to increase your club head speed, you're going to hit the golf ball more solid, and you're going to get rid of thins and fats. So let's dive into those. So you might be a golfer that has what I would consider a late sway in their swing. You have trouble hitting fats and thins. You can see how that lower body is getting high late into the backswing. That is a sway. Sway is bad. And what we're looking for in a proper recenterings of the golf swing is that should turn from a shift into rotation and then a recenter into that downswing. It should look something like this, where as we're working near the top of the backswing, we're gonna recenter and hit that golf ball solid. So how do we do that in our golf swing so we can hit more greens and regulations? Well, to begin with, we have to know how the pressure surfs through our feet. One of my favorite drills for that is just grabbing two alignment sticks. We're gonna take two alignment sticks and we're just gonna put them right down beside each other. You can do it with a small little wood dowel, or maybe you have a spare shaft that you can stand on that's broken. And from here, we're just gonna stand roughly where your arches meet the balls of your feet. And this is where we're looking for to surf your pressures. When I get amateurs on the force plates, I will often see their pressures going all over the place on a pressure trace. Now, depending on the shot shape you're looking to hit, there can be some variations to that. So for instance, if you're looking at a little bit more of a draw, we want to get that pressure trace to go just a little bit more this way. That's okay. But we definitely shouldn't see a pressure trace where it gets up into the toes this way. And from down the line, it would look something like this. And then they swing down from there, right? Something like this, right? It's really hard to hit good golf shots when you're up into your toes. And I also see the opposite of that. I see golfers where as they get to the top of their backswing, they're getting too much pressure on this side of their trail side. And it looks something like this as well. And that's gonna create almost a late sway. They can't get that pressure back onto their lead foot. Inconsistent contact. We don't want that either. So what do we want? Well, what we want is as we shift that pressure from the lead foot to the trail foot and at your address position, we should be somewhere around 50-50. I actually like a little bit more into that lead side, almost feeling like you're trying to rip apart a towel in your address position. And to have that, you'd have a little more pressure on this side. You can see as I push that, that gets me going this way. As I'm working up to the top of my backswing, I want to feel like that pressure is getting into the inside of my trail foot. If you've ever roller skated or hockey skated before, right, it's the feeling of pushing this foot out. And the second that you start working off that golf ball, you should be building that pressure into that trail foot, almost trying to twist it and turn it. And the pressure should be on the inside of the trail foot on the two alignment sticks. All I want you to do is just get comfortable really slowly doing that and getting that weight and that pressure to that inside of that trail foot. You can see as I was doing that, I almost like twisted and slid down that. That's the pressure, and that's how we want to have it go down into the top of the backswing. Now, how do you shift the pressures in your swing and the timing? Most amateurs, when I get them on these force plates, they do pressure shift. However, it is always late for bad golfers. I have yet to see a bad golfer with a really good pressure shift because, again, the golf swing is over so fast. What I get them to do then, and this is the next drill I want you to try, is I get them to grab a little bit of weight. I like a kettlebell because you can sort of hold it just like a golf club. This is 10 pounds. And again, you can get onto your alignment sticks. Get onto the alignment sticks. And from here, I want you to feel like you're trying to surf that pressure down that alignment stick, back and down the alignment stick, because you're putting pressure into the ground. Now, in the golf swing, the pressure should move relatively early from the lead foot to their trail foot. So again, we're about 50, 55, 45, and boom, right there. As I would be working off of the golf ball, I'm gonna grab my club. As I'm working off of the golf ball, I've put now the pressure from my lead foot into my trail foot, and I've gotten about 75% of pressure into that trail foot. From here, there's gonna be a little gradual building of that little bit of pressure, and it's a little bit different for golfer to golfer, but somewhere around 75 to 90, 95% of the pressure onto that trail side. But as I'm getting around lead arm parallel, that pressure should be now starting to go the other way. And what that does, well, you see from down the line here, is as I shift that pressure, as I recenter, the weight and the club come down for free. This is the best bit about recentering. If you can recenter properly, it stops you from being over the top. It stops you from that pull down. It stops you from left paths, right? It's going to work the arms and the club down almost for free. And there are many things that do that in the golf swing. So if you can get comfortable doing this with a little bit of weight, feeling like, okay, as I get to about lead arm parallel, or what would be just past shaft parallel in the backswing, you want to feel like you're starting to put that pressure back into that trail foot to push you towards the target. And this is not a rotation. This is not up here and rotate. It is up here and shift. And as you shift, the arms and the club and the kettlebell are going to come down. This is a great drill to get comfortable with in that golf swing. And then we can start applying some braking force with that lead foot. But start with a little bit of weight. That'll be a great drill for you, especially if you're someone that does this late. You'd look like, whoa, I'm going that way with that kettlebell. Practice this, again, don't have to take golf balls, you do this at home all the time. Then, one of my favorite drills, and I often talk about these, are like budget-friendly force plates. These are cereal boxes, obviously. And what they do on mats is they're going to remove your friction. In an actual golf swing, so if I was to swing and just hit a ball, I'm not going to try to hit this too hard. It's not going to pick up because I'm too close to my launch monitor here. But what you're going to see is my feet are just going to slip and slide all over the place. And that's because I'm putting force into the ground. But with the cereal boxes, it removes that friction. We're going to get rid of one cereal box to begin with. And what we're looking for is the second that you work off that golf ball, you can see how I'm triggering by sliding this way because I'm putting pressure on this lead foot. Now I get rid of this card, I put it on the other foot, and what you would see is, again, I'm pushing this out. This is the start of your takeaway. This is how the recentering happens, because as soon as you're working off the golf ball, you're putting pressure on this foot. Then this foot, you're gonna feel like you're trying to twist and push it, just like, again, that little hockey skate, right, with a little bit of rotation in there to coil into that trail leg. Get comfortable making that move, and that's what we're looking for. So again, same feel on the cereal box. We're looking for is, I'm gonna feel like I'm putting pressure this way. I'm gonna coil into this leg as I work off the golf ball. And as I feel about lead arm parallel, I wanna feel like I'm gonna start recentering that pelvis. Again, I'm not rotating, I'm not opening my hips or anything like that. I'm feeling like they're recentering, right, in the golf swing. And that's what we're looking for. That is a great move for you to learn how to do that so you can hit better golf shots. Start slow. You do not need to do this at full speed right away. It is a new movement. Remember, you've done it one way for so long. You need to slow it down first. Get comfortable hitting golf shots. If you're out on the range, put the ball on a small little tee. Get on to the alignment sticks. Just to recap all this stuff. What does it feel like as you're working up to the top? Do you feel like, oh, yep, I'm on my toes, that's no good. I wanna feel like as I work off the golf ball, as I get up to the top, I wanna have that pressure on that trail side, because that's gonna create a proper pressure shift, and you're gonna feel like you're balanced, you can load into that trail foot so that you can start recentering. Then, as you get comfortable with that, again, at home, you can work on the kettlebells. You can get the weight shift when it happens. We're looking for, as you're working off the golf ball, before you get to lead arm parallel. Again, it happens so much earlier than people are used to, that their brains are like, can't really happen that fast. But remember, the golf swing is over so quickly. When the pressure shift happens, the recentering is really, really early. It's way earlier than you've ever thought possible. So get comfortable being uncomfortable, feeling like, okay, as soon as I work off that golf ball, I want to feel like I'm turning and starting to recenter into that shot. And that's going to create space and time for you to turn and hit it. And that's what we're looking for. We want to be able to recenter in the golf swing to create power. It's also going to create consistency, because if you put your low point in front of the golf ball with irons, you're going to strike the golf ball better. You're going to compress the golf ball better. That's what we're looking for. And that's all we're looking for. We're looking for a nice little recentering the golf swing. We want to feel like as we're nearing about lead arm parallel in the golf swing, we want to feel like we're starting to recenter that pelvis. Again, it's not a rotation. It's not opening the pelvis. The hips don't start the downswing by rotating. They start the downswing by shifting laterally. And again, that gets that space for the arms to work down and the club to work down. Get comfortable recentering into that downswing that enables you to hit better golf shots. Now, if you need help with this, I would love to help you out. I'd love to give you a free video breakdown of your swing on the Skills app. All you need to do in the comments below is say swing. I will send you a free code that you can use to get one-time free video breakdown of your swing, and we can work on your recentering. Are you recentering properly in a golf swing? If you have any questions about the video or anything else you want me to cover on YouTube, let me know. Otherwise, hopefully this helped you out. I'll see you in the next video.